My name is Gumaden and I've been playing Bee Swarm Simulator since 2018 in the Gummy Bear event. This is my Bee Swarm Simulator mid-game guide of 26 to 50 bees. There are many different sections in this guide, and feel free to jump to any of the sections that you need help with the most. Do not waste any silver, gold, or diamond eggs on your hive, as you will need them for both quests and for boosting later on in this guide. Save your star eggs and tell them the common, rare, epic, and legendary bees are all gifted. This will ensure that it is a guaranteed mythic bee that is gifted. This is the event bee buying guide. Make sure to get Tabby, Photon, Vicious, Festive, Gummy, and then Crimson and Cobalt. Avoid getting Puppy Bee unless you can gift it when you buy it. This is the event bee gifting order. Make sure to gift Tabby first for more pollen. Make sure to get Photon so you have more instant conversion and have a bigger bag. Gummy, which will give you more honey per pollen. Festo for the better gifts and also the buff. And then finally, get Puppy only if it's gifted. At the very end, make sure to get Vicious for the monster respawn time. This is the mid to end game gear progression guide. This is based off a solo player that requires a lot of goo from fields for many of the Spirit Bear quests. This is the mid to end game gear progression guide. These are based off of if you are going to be a red or a blue hive once you get your Supreme Star Amulet. This is a bee leveling guide based on the amount of bees that are in your current hive. If you're at 35 bees, you want a level 8 to 9 hive. If you're at like 46 bees, you want around a level 13 hive. The higher the level of the hive, the faster your bees move, the more pollen they gather, and the stronger their abilities are. I recommend that you do not use any consumables until you're around 45 plus hive slots, because items will be required to craft any gear in this game, especially endgame gear. This is my hive composition recommendations based on if you do not have a Supreme Star Amulet. 3 to 5 carps, 3 to 4 musics, 2 shies, 2 ninjas, 1 to 2 babies, and then you're looking at 1 of each gifted type. Well, that was my recommendation. I also recommend that you don't waste a ton of honey to try to get the perfect composition of hive before you are actually having a Supreme Star Amulet. One recommendation I give is to have someone help you kill the Mondo check, as it gives honey items and a 10% pollen buff, which will help you progress in the game much faster early on. This is my general rule of thumb when looking at upgrades. Bee slots are better than gear, and gear is better than bee levels. When you're progressing from 26 all the way up to 50 bees, there's a general area around 35 to 40 bees where it feels like nothing you do really changes anything that's going on in the game. This is a normal feeling, as there is a certain point in the game where it gets much harder and you have to have the equipment, the more bees, and the bee levels in order to start achieving those much higher levels of honey being made. For questing from 26 to 50 bees, I recommend prioritizing the Beemas side quest because you'll be able to get presents. These presents will allow you to give them to different NPCs, which will buff different aspects of the game, allowing you to progress through those aspects much faster. A general rule of thumb from questing 26 to 50 bees is to focus on the Science and Black Bear quest lines, because the Science Bear will allow you to convert at your hive faster and give you translators to unlock for Riley, Bucko, and the Stickbug side quest lines, while the Black Bear will give you the Mythic Bee at the very end. Once you get your first translator from the Science Bear, I recommend giving it to Riley so you can get additional stingers to unlock the Vicious Bee and both of the guards in the A shop. Another recommendation I have is to save the Honeybee quests for once you have 48 plus bees. This will allow you to convert much faster at your hive and allow you to make more honey with boosts later on in the game. Once you have 31 or more bees, I recommend focusing on the Brown Bear, Anna, and Panda Bear quests for those star treats, which you will be able to give to event bees, which will help you progress much faster through the game. Once you get to 35 bees, I recommend getting the Spirit Bears quest so you can start unlocking some of the equipment in the 35 bee shop. One of the first areas we are going to look at with power leveling and having a friend is if the friend has a fuzzy hive alt, which is 5 to 7 fuzzy bees in a hive. If they park it in different fields, it will drastically increase the flowers that are there, allowing you to complete quests much faster and earn honey much faster. Another area where a friend can help is if they have the Supreme Saturator. If they apply this in a field, it will allow you to gather pollen in that field much faster, which will allow you to earn much more honey. A third area where a friend can help is with the mythic meteor showers. If you catch those meteors, they will drop items and honey, which will drastically speed up the amount of honey that you can gain in a short period of time. Finally, an area where your friend can help is with sprouts. If they plant sprouts, it'll help you with completing quests, and it can essentially be like a trading from them to you through picking up items from that sprout. Amulets are another way of drastically increasing the amount of honey that you can earn. One area that I recommend holding off on though is not wasting time on a stump snail until you're around 45 bees and a vicious bee, because it will take way too long to kill the stump snail. One area I recommend holding off on also is not trying to roll for the perfect star amulet, as you'll be wasting honey towards things that you can get, such as leveling up bees, getting beehive slots, or getting equipment. The first amulet we are going to be looking at is the Moon Amulet, which maxes at 250k capacity. I recommend doing fireflies every night that they come out, because you can get 5 and 10 of the moon charms for creating this amulet. It costs 100 moon charms to create one each time, and ideally you're looking at honey per pollen and bond from treats for that final moon amulet. Another amulet we are looking at is the King Beetle Amulet. It has a 1 in 7 chance of dropping. A key strategy a lot of people do when they're having a hard time killing the King Beetle is to get it stuck on the song name in the upper right corner of his lair. Ideally, you're looking at convert rate and bee attack for this amulet. The next amulet we are looking at is the Ant Amulet. You should be able to get a Supreme Ant Amulet once when your hive is level 9 to 12. If you're overwhelmed while doing this challenge, you can slow down and stop collecting in the field to kill the ants in that field. Ideally, you're looking at convert rate, crit power, and bee attack. And then finally, you want 2 of either red blue, red white, or blue white, depending on which specialization you are looking at once when you become a level 50 hive. Next, we're looking at the Stickbug Amulet. This is a group event, usually consisting of 3 different players, where the Stickbug goes from field to field. Ideally, for an amulet, you're looking at capacity, convert rate, bee attack, red or blue bee attack, red or blue pollen, and blue bomb pollen if you're blue, and bee attack percent if you are red. Once you have 45 plus bees and a vicious bee, I recommend start working on the stump snail. Ideally, for the stump snail, you're looking at goo, pollen, stump field, and convert amount if you're blue, or white pollen if you are red. Finally, we are looking at the Supreme Star Amulet. This amulet, it should not be attempted to be obtained prior to having 45 bees. You need 40 gifted bees to unlock this amulet. Ideally, you're looking at bee ability rate, crit, pollen percent, bee or red pollen, and convert rate if you're blue, or instant conversion if you are red. Nectars were a very important mechanic that was added in the 2021 Beemas event. During that event, he added in planters, and you can have up to 3 of them in 3 different fields at a time. Harvesting gives you nectars, which will buff the pollen collection, bee attack, and convert rate at your hive. It is very important to harvest these planters on time and not just let them sitting in the fields. It is also important, if you want, is to farm in those planter fields, which will allow you to harvest those faster. There is different ways to maintain nectars at almost 100% of the time, and we'll be explaining that a little bit later. This is the breakdown of the different nectar types, which will allow you to earn honey much faster and do various things. As you can see, it depends on which field the planters are in, and they can stack up to 24 hours, so you'll have them for a very long time. It is important to note though, When you're not in the game, they will slowly drain over time, but you can store them for 5 tickets each. The more a field is planted in, the more the field gets degraded, and over time this max degradation will lead to a 75% slowdown in how fast that planter will grow. So it is recommended to rotate fields based on that so you don't have this slowdown. As I was saying earlier, one way that you can automate Nectars is through a program such as Natural, which will allow you to automatically get Nectars based on the fields and you won't have to worry about any of it. This is my planter acquisition ordering guide. I recommend you get plastic first, candy, red clay, tacky/blue clay, and then finally pesticide. This will allow you to max out almost all your Nectars at that time. One of the major improvements with Nectars is that they drop items when you collect them, and this is a guide on the different waxes and the likely chance of getting those items in that specific field. This is the specific section for 26 to 30 bees, and I recommend one of the first things you start doing is killing the king beetle for items and the king beetle amulet. You can get him stuck on the song name, which will make it much easier to kill him. One area I recommend prioritizing is getting the Riley and Bucko guards. They are much cheaper and easier to get than their counterparts in the Ace shop. Since you have all the field boosters unlocked, I recommend using these field boosters to get your Ace badges, which will allow you to earn honey much faster. Finally, I recommend if you get any star jellies is to use them to unlock gifted bees. This will allow you to eventually get a star amulet, which will allow you to earn honey much faster. Please note though that the gifted bee types don't stack, so if you get 2 fire bees, their gifted bonus doesn't stack. As you continue to get bee slots, I recommend continuing to use the field boosters to get field masteries such as the master badges in the different fields. This will allow you to get honey much faster and continue to get new gear and higher level bees. Once you get to 35 bees, I recommend that you focus on getting your hive to a level 8 to 9 hive. This will allow you to start working on some of the harder aspects of the game and allow you to get better gear and equipment. Once you get to a level 8 to 9 hive, make sure that you're killing Tunnel Bear on cooldown for items that he drops. As I stated earlier in my guide, this is usually when people start feeling stuck, and this is where I recommend focusing on getting bee slots, because bee slots will allow you to do more and allow your hive to synchronize better to make more honey faster. Once you're around 40 bees, make sure to get the golden gushers. The sprinkler system, including these, will allow the fields to regenerate faster, so you can earn honey faster because there'll be flowers there to actually gather. By the time you hit 40 bees, you should have a bronze or a silver star amulet. If you don't, you need to focus more on getting some of the gifted bee types in order to unlock those different amulets. One area people seem to neglect is not upgrading their equipment. Make sure that you are working on getting the honey mask and the honeycomb belt. A lot of people will debate on the honeycomb belt, but it does add quite a bit of capacity, allowing you to earn honey faster. And the materials can be made back pretty quick through some of the programs such as Natural. By the time you're getting close to the 40 bee mark, you should have most of your Master Field badges done. If you don't have all your Master Field badges done, continue using the field boosters to get those Master Field badges, because it'll increase the amount of honey that you can earn. At around 40 bees, you should have around a level 10 hive. I would focus on getting this level 10 hive when you have your equipment and those gifted bee types done. After getting your hive to level 10, next I would focus on getting your vicious to level 12. This will allow you to kill the coconut crab in under 10 minutes. The last time I made a alt, I was able to kill the coconut crab in right around 8 minutes with a level 10 hive and a level 12 vicious bee. Once you're around 40 bees, you should be around the 4th Spirit Bear quest. Start saving your star jellies because you will need 10 of them to get the petal one when you complete the 10th Spirit Bear quest. Once you are around 40 bees, I recommend getting the Cobalt and Crimson guards. They are a slight upgrade from the Bucko and Riley guards that you get in the red and blue HQ centers. After getting the Crimson and Cobalt guards, I recommend focusing on getting the Diamond if you're planning on going blue, Gummy if you're solo or white, and Demon if you plan on going red. Once you get the first petal from the 10th Spirit Bear quest, I recommend getting the petal one. It is the best upgrade out of the 3 at this time. Between the 41 and the 45 bee range, you want to start focusing on trying to get the gifted basic bee using basic eggs. It's a 1 in 287 chance, so it's going to take a little bit for you to get. By the time you get 41 bees, you should have a Supreme Ant Amulet and a Silver Stick Bug Amulet. These will drastically increase the amount of honey that you can earn over not having any amulet at all from them. By the time you have 45 bees, your hive should be a level 11 to level 12 hive. Finally, you want to use field boosters to complete at least 10 Grandmaster badges. This is needed to unlock the Supreme Saturator. Once you have 10 Grandmasters, make sure you start saving for the Supreme Saturator. It will allow you to not be reliant on people as much, and the Supreme Saturator regenerates the field the best out of all the saturators in the Ace shop. If you don't already have the endgame mask, hyper focus on getting the Diamond if you're blue, Demon if you're red, or Gummy if you're solo and don't really have any help. After getting the mask, make sure you start focusing on getting the coconut canister, as it will give you 2 to 3 times more honey per boost than not having that. After getting the coconut canister, make sure you start focusing on trying to get the coconut boots, as they do have some decent buffs that the mountaintop boots do not have. Between 46 and 49 bees, you should have the 20th Spirit Bear quest complete, which gives you another petal. Use that petal for the petal belt, as the petal belt is a direct upgrade, and a lot of times people do not get the windy bee right away by donating to the shrine. If you don't already have the Diamond Star Amulet, start focusing to get 30 gifted types to unlock this amulet, as it will be a massive upgrade from the Gold Star Amulet. Between 46 and 49 bees, you are looking at a hive level of between 13 to 15, depending on how many bees you currently have. If you haven't already, you should start killing the Stump Snail, as you will need 15 kills to unlock the Supreme Snail Amulet. At this point, you should have both the Vicious Bee, and you should have a high enough hive to kill him efficiently. Around this level, I recommend donating some eggs to the Wind Shrine. It will give you massive wins, which will give you huge buffs and boosting. Make sure you at least save 1 silver, 1 gold, and 5 diamonds for the mask if you don't already have those items. Also, don't be afraid to use some of the loaded dice when you get good wins from the Wind Shrine. Glitter at the end of these dice also will increase it even more. The reasoning behind this is it'll allow you to get massive honey to unlock those final 2 slots, allowing you to make even more honey later on. You can craft those later on and get them from quests, but they are kind of hard to get. If you haven't already, make sure you're focusing on getting the 40 gifted types to unlock the Supreme Star Amulet. It will give you a 10x or higher fold of making honey, depending on which passive you get from the Supreme Star Amulet. Once you have the Supreme Star Amulet unlocked, make sure to get Pop Star if you're blue, or Scorching Star if you're red. Do not worry about double passes at this time until you get at least 50 bees and start making really good honey. At the end of the day, I recommend going blue over red, because it is easier for people to use natural macro to make more honey when they're not on their computer, and you don't need all the gifted. Finally, you don't need the new tools to make, say, 500 billion honey a hour as you would for red. Once you complete the 30th Spirit Bear quest, donate that petal to the Wind Shrine for the Windy Bee. On average, it takes 200 to 400 cloud vials to get it. Do not expect it anytime soon, because it is not something that you can get it very easily. Overall, I tried to be as thorough as possible in this guide. I might have missed a few things, and I apologize if I did. If there's anything that I've missed, please put it in the comments section below, and I'll try to pin that and add it for comments for everyone to catch. On a final thought though, I wanted to say, don't be discouraged if you don't get to 50 bees in 3 months or 6 months. Some people it takes 1 to 2 years to get sometimes, but with Nectars and getting help from other people, this process for getting to 50 bees can be drastically increased to where you can become a 50 bee hive within, say, a month or 2 with using natural and other means like that. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye!